You should read books. You know, I'm I read books. You want to be like this? You want to be smart? I read books. My grandma also said that I'm handsome the other day, so and that I'm smart. So I think it's just facts. You should read books. You want to be like this? Read some books. You know, it makes us all better people. I think it's healthy. It's good for you. You can spend so much time doing dumb stuff. You can go on your phone. You can do drugs. You can drink stuff like that. Whatever other kind of things. But books are one of the only things that you actually. We're getting serious now. We're actually in this. Books are one of those things where you have to do the work for every single page, every single word. You need to actually put the work in. And it can be a fantasy book. It doesn't need to be smart people books. I'm not pushing like classics or nonfiction stuff like that. Books are books. Books are fun. Reading's good. That's period, end of story, the whole thing. I like fantasy books. I'm trying some classic ones the last couple of days. It's been all right. I like fantasy books. That's fun. There's nothing wrong with that. And even if it's a fun fantasy book or something, it's purely for entertainment. You have to do the active work to read every single page. If you don't actively choose to open that book and read the words and perceive them and reflect on them, it's useless. Whereas I can press play on a movie, I can doom scroll through a bunch of shorts or reels, whatever, and I'm not going to remember any of those things. And even if I'm focusing, it's going to keep playing. If I'm not focusing, it's going to keep playing. No matter what happens, that's going to run its course. And then I can say, I watched whatever movie, smart person movie, dumb movie, entertainment, comedy, whatever, it's done. You watched it, and you can kind of check that off your box, even though you didn't do literally any work except for pressing like one button and adjusting the volume, perhaps something like that. Whereas with reading, you have to pick up the book, you have to open the book, you have to read the words, you have to think about the words, and you have to create this whole story in your head. Like the author is critical, obviously, in a book, because without that, it would be nothing. But you co-create the entire world. Like when you read a book, my favorite part of reading is every book that I've read, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of other people have read these exact same books. But the way that I've read those books, I'm the only person who has and ever will read those the exact way that I've read them. You co-create that world together, and it takes work mutually. Obviously, a lot more for the author, but it still takes work for you to do that, and it's an active choice of ingesting whatever you want to read. It's kind of hard reading, but that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it feel rewarding, and that's why I think you should spend your time doing that rather than just kind of scrolling your life away. If I said name 5 of the shorts or reels that you've watched in the last day, 2 days, you're scrambling right now. But I can tell you basically every single moment of the Dark Tower series that I read, which is like 4,500 pages earlier this year. That was like 5, 6 months ago now. I could tell you basically every single moment. And I started reading it last October very slowly and then really started picking up in December. But if I told you about shorts that I watched 3 days ago, I have no clue. I could not tell you a thing. And I think the fact that books stick with us, I think there's a lot of meaning behind that. And I think it really is worthwhile reading. Even again, if it's just for fun, there's nothing wrong with that. I'd actually highly encourage that the mass majority of the reading you do, 90 plus percent, has at least some entertainment value, if not most of it be entertainment. Like maybe 5, 10% should be just for learning at most. But reading's supposed to be fun. It's just another way of doing it that's a lot more intellectually stimulating. That's a big reason why I think you should read. Kind of going alongside that too, it's fun. It's honestly it's super enjoyable because if there's a certain thing that happens in a movie or like the scene set a certain way or maybe it's costumes or whatever, you can't change that. That's just how the movie is. It will always be that way. But with a book, you can change that. Like if they're like, I read Fairy Tale by Stephen King. It was like the first book that got me into reading last year a little bit, and I think the dog is a German Shepherd. In the whole book, I was like, no, they're a golden retriever. It makes no difference fundamentally to the story, and to me, that dog's a golden retriever now. You have a lot of, you don't have a lot of say necessarily the ending or the way things go, or the results of them. We have a lot of say in how the journey goes, which is the fun of reading. That's the whole point of it. It's not the beginning, it's not the end stuff. It's the middle, it's the meat of it. That's what makes the books fun. That's what makes them good. So it's really enjoyable, and I spend I don't know. I could probably, if they made a Dark Tower series movie, like 7 movies, I could probably watch those in a weekend. Whereas it took me like 3 months to read those books. So I spent a quarter of a year with those same characters, with Roland and Eddie and Suzanne and all of them. That's what I did. And it can be any series, it can be standalones, whatever. But you spend so much more time. It's really a huge investment in your life when you look at it on a grand scale. And that closer connection that you develop with that is fantastic. That's why I think reading is so much more superior to something like movies and TV shows. And I think they have a place, but I think reading just makes it so much deeper. It's such a bigger connection. Like it's more love than lust, which is I think what we get out from a lot of movies or TV shows personally, which have a place, but I just don't think they hit nearly as close to home when a book hits, which is why I think everyone says, "Oh, the book was better," because it's not a performative or pretentious thing all the time. I think genuinely a lot of the time the book is just better, right? Because you're so much more in depth with it, and you really are sacrificing a lot of your time and dedicating yourself to that book being a part of you and a part of your life for maybe 4 days, maybe a week, maybe a month, whatever. And that's kind of the beauty of it. I think that's a huge reason why you should read. We can get more academic about this too if we really wanted to, in the sense that from books, classically speaking, yeah, there is a lot to learn from books. Like that's the point of them is the quickest, most effective, convenient source of learning. And I think with that, they're really good for that, honestly. And having an informed society is critical because I think so many problems that we run into, and even like little daily things in our life, the problem isn't that we don't know that something is bad in our life. It's that we don't even know about something specific in our life. It's the ignorance of it is what the problem is in so many things. And we can go up to like economics or politics or like government, and we can go into like the most trivial little things. Maybe it's like a very minor health problem. Maybe it's a part of your diet that's causing you this little issue every day. It can be the dumbest little thing, or oh, this person's not being honest with you. And just having a generally informed society about a mass volume of issues and ideas that you can still extract from fictional fun books. Like there are themes in these fantasy kind of books and these fiction books that are super super helpful. Like Mitch Albom is someone I'd really recommend because he baloney dog pills it kind of where it's like you feel like you're eating baloney but you're still getting the medicine that you need, and that's like the best way to read, I feel like. So having people be not stupid is really helpful. And even if we're not actively pursuing these ideas that we learn in these books and that we read, there's probably going to be some that slip through the seams into our life subconsciously. Like I just read Old Man and the Sea. There's probably going to be a part of me now, maybe, or maybe not for me, but maybe 1 in 10 people that read that book, maybe 1 in 20 people that read that book that are like, oh, I'm going to be more resilient in my life. And it might not be me, but it might be someone. And if we all read that book, maybe we might actually see like a 0.5% increase in productivity in the world and resilience and hope in the way that we treat people. Maybe it's a different book that helps us. Maybe it's a fiction or fantasy book, whatever it might be. So that's why I think the information itself is super helpful. Having fun with it is also critical though, and I think we can actually do that alongside each other. I don't think everything we need to read needs to be like killing ourselves and feel like work and a chore, and I don't think everything that we read needs to be like light and fluffy and fun. Like I find it just kind of gets redundant either way that you go with that, and it ruins reading because at the end of the day, reading's supposed to be fun, and for some people it means like directly fun, and for other people it means more informative, but they find learning fun. Either way, I think we need a balance, and whatever works for you, do that. Whatever makes you want to read more, read those things. Read that. That's awesome. Like whatever it is, if you want to read Percy Jackson, do it. If you want to read Dostoevsky or whatever, do it. Do whatever you wish. Just read. Reading. Just read. Audible books, do it. Read. It's all beautiful. And with that, I think, is it escapism? Is it a vice? Yes, absolutely it is. But you have to work for it. And I think if you're working for your vice, like scrolling on your phone, you don't have to work for that. Putting on a TV show that's dumb, you don't have to work for that. Um, Messing around with substances, there's no work involved with that. Those things do the work for you, and there's no active engagement in it. And yes, when I read a fantasy book, am I looking for an escape into another world? Yes, but I'm creating that world alongside the author, and I'm doing work to make that world up and find a suitable place for me to spend my time that I actually desire going to. I think that is much healthier. A vice is a vice is a vice, but I think if your escapism has the backbone of intellect, I don't see a problem with that personally. I think that's awesome. I think that's really helpful because we can't always just be in the thick of it and killing ourselves day in and day out over the biggest problems. We need to have fun. We need to have vices. We need to have escapes. And if we can learn and get some meaning and purpose, and honestly, maybe even a little bit of pride out of that, that's perfect. That's why I think you should read. And honestly, like I just said, you get pride out of it. Reading, I don't necessarily think you should compare yourself to people. You probably just shouldn't. But if it makes you feel better than people, and more importantly, if it makes you feel better about yourself than you do when you're not reading, read. I feel like I started reading especially this year. I think this 6 months me versus a year ago me, as dumb as it sounds, I like this me more that reads every day because I find this me, even if it's a dumb book, I did at least one thing every single day where I'm like, I'm actively doing something for my betterment. Even if it's escapism, even if it's for fun, I actively had to open that book, read the words on the page, and make a world up in my head. Right? And the author obviously does so much of that work for you. But I know that I did at least something with my day where I didn't piss it away. Like when I scroll on my phone or whatever, I hate myself after so much. Whereas with books, they give you that sense of pride. And I think as long as it's in a relatively healthy notion, I think it actually leads to self confidence. And your brain is like a muscle, just like everything else in your body. And if you don't work this out, even with fun things, same thing. It's kind of like playing a sport, is what reading a fantasy book is like. It's like, yeah, you're exercising, but you're having a lot of fun. Yeah, you're thinking, but you're having fun with it. And if you want to read a classic or something that's more intellectually challenging, that's kind of like actually exercising. Still good for you. Maybe a bit more bleak, but still good for you. Read. Just read. Don't overthink it. Just read. You want to read something fun? Read something fun. Something childish? Do it. You want to read poetry? Beautiful. You want to listen to books? Do it. Whatever gets you reading, I highly, highly, highly encourage doing that in your life. And if you need to take breaks from it, take breaks from it. If you need to read only 10 pages a day, read 10 pages a day. Whatever you're currently doing, that a little bit more of reading every day will make it better. I guarantee that. I think everybody should read very, very much. So that's basically it for this one. If you like this video, like it. If you really liked it, subscribe. If you didn't, don't. Either way, comment down below. What do you think? Do you read? Do you not read? What would you recommend that I read? Do you want me to talk more about books? Do you want me to shut my mouth? Whatever you got to say, go ahead and say it. So, yeah, that's it for this one, and see you later.